You know, I know I've talked this to death, and I know a lot of people are going to say, "You've talked it to death." And you're right, I have talked it to death. Perhaps more than I should. But, you know, there's a lot of speculation as to what's going to happen to a certain character after she's restored. Either around 250 or something like that, maybe afterwards, we don't know. Because Ian, the writer, likes to throw us off a bit. But here's trying to make sure it's readable. Okay, cool. But, here's the thing. We can speculate and all that, which is good, but the question is exactly what's going to happen to said character. You know, I went on the Bumble King forums, and there were plenty, um, plenty of, excuse me for a second, plenty of fans out there, if you will, that looked at her situation, if you will, and they said, "Well, what could happen?" Some have pretty much figured almost like in the vicinity of what I figured, and I think a few other fans have figured. And that is, she'll go through the certain stages. Like, she might feel, I said one time, she might be untrust, she might not trust herself. Some other fans have said, she may be untrusted by some people, by like the citizens of New Mobotropolis. And but the question is, how far will it go? How much development and everything will happen? What will be the results afterwards? And to me, I think I pretty much have an idea of exactly what could happen. Um, Ian Flynn, is there's no doubt Ian's a good writer. Whether we like to admit it or not, the guy's a tremendous writer. Uh, but the thing is, exactly what does he have in store for said character after she's restored and everything, whenever that might be? Well, here's my look at it, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think they're going to go a few routes with her. One, she could either not trust herself anymore and be unsure of herself, or two, she could go back to being the Sally she was, be the leader, main mission with Sonic and the others is to defeat Robotnik. But because of what he did, because of what Robotnik Eggman did to her, kind of be like, you know what? We can show mercy to all our other adversaries. All our other adversaries. We can show all the mercy we want, but Eggman will be the exception. Like, Eggman's got to be terminated. He's got to be wiped out. Because, like, I could see, honestly, I could almost read and see, honestly, Ian Flynn writing in a line for her saying that, if Robotnik Eggman is willing to go this far with me and, modify me to the point that, you know, I had weapons coming out of me and stuff like that, then what makes you think he won't stop? What makes you think he won't stop up anywhere else? So I think honestly that's what Ian might be going with her. My opinion only. Um, my opinion only is that I got a feeling she's gonna say, fuck Eggman. He's the one that needs to be terminated. That's about it. Now, other people have said that there might be characters besides the citizens that will be weary, kind of untrustworthy, not really sure where she's coming from. One of them they said is Monkey Kong. Like, okay, Monkey Kong, we know he'll get his free will, but it'd be more like along the lines of Monkey Kong would be like, do I really want to trust you, Sal? I mean, yeah, after even though I know you didn't have no control over your facilities and all that, do I really want to trust you? And a lot of people have said that whether you want to admit it or not, it does put a strain, realistic strain, on certain friendships and relationships. Now, I'm pretty sure, as a lot of people have said, it might take a while, maybe not, that they'll be like, look, Sal, you weren't in control of yourself. It wasn't your fault. We know you really didn't want to say the things that you did, but you know, right now you've been put into a situation to where we got to keep an eye on you, and I think that's what's going to happen. Um, for example, I could see the Royal Council maybe, like Elias and the Royal Council kind of convening and going like, okay, Sally. Yeah, it's Sally I'm talking about, so, but like, okay, Sally, you could still be a freedom fighter, but whatever plans you come up with, you got to pass them by your teammates. You can't just say, this is what we're going to do, because I have the plan. This is what we're going to do. No, you need to pass it by your teammates, and if they don't agree with it, you got to come up with something else. I think that's one of the areas they may go in. And you know what? Knowing how Ian writes, well, actually, I don't know how he writes, but speculating from one area, the way Ian writes is, I think what could happen, honestly, is, he might write in Sally saying, yeah, I didn't have no control of what I did or said, but there was a part of me that actually, there were things that I said that I kept hidden that actually came out when I was robotic. Like when she told Bunny she was useless without her robotics as Mecha, or she told Tails and Amy like the kids or something like they shouldn't be there. I'm wondering. I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be mean or anything because I'm a fan of the character, but knowing how Ian Flynn is sometimes, he's a great writer. A good twist would be to have her say that in her robotic mecha form, all those feelings and stuff she had inside kind of came out. Like she didn't intend for them, like Bunny and Amy and Tails, to hear what she said in her mecha form because she didn't want them to know how she felt. Like, like with her best friend Bunny, she could be like, "Look, Bunny, I know I know you didn't want to hear what I had to say when I was in my mechanized form, but that was something I kept deep down inside. I didn't want you to know about that because I've always depended on you being half robotic, being the strength of our team." And maybe she'll take Tails and Amy inside and apologize for what she said to them, and probably said, deep down, I didn't want you guys to know about that because I look at you as the future of our team, as the future of the freedom fighters, the ones that will step up to the plate when me and Sonic and Bunny and Antoine and Rotor step down for good and decide to go on and do other things. I won't be surprised if Ian Flynn puts that twist in there. And I know some people would say, that's a good twist. That would be a good twist. And it would be. And it would be. I mean, it'd be kind of like, um, how do I put this? It'd be kind of like, when, it'd be kind of like, when someone's tired, they come home from work. They're tired. They don't want to be bugged, right? They don't want to be pressured. They don't want to be asked so many questions. They don't want to be called to do certain things. They don't want to, answer phones or read messages or read emails or be on the computer, you know. And basically being tired, sometimes if they get angry, they start saying things they don't mean to say. And I'm thinking, wouldn't that be something that would kind of be like an equivalent to her mecha form? Like, okay, this is stuff she didn't want to say to anybody, and yet in her mecha form it just came out. You know, but to me, I think that's honestly one of the ways they could go with it. You know, just want to see if you could still read that. Okay, you can. But to me, that's just one of the ways I think they can go with it. I mean, don't you agree it would be unique to see something like that happen? I mean, I may not read the comics right now, and believe it or not, I do have people that agree with me that it makes for a much better atmosphere if you just wait to open it all up until everything is sort of simmered down and ready to go. You just wait for it, because then you could give a proper judgment. But anyway, getting back on topic, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? And you know, if she just starts out kind of like step by step and gets her free will back, you know what one speculation could be for me, that if she gets her free will back, I mean, heck, who's to say, and Ian probably won't tell us, who's to say she doesn't have a free will now? You know what I'm saying? When you look at what Monkey Kong did, you know, give you any ideas? In fact, one person, I don't know if it was Natalie on the, you know, on one who's on the Sega forums and Saturday Morning Sonic forums, or somebody else. I don't know who it was, but they took a closer look at when Robotnik did what he did to her, and they read and found, like they said, what they were looking for, and what they read and found was the fact that that the power ring he put in her was indeed modified. So it makes you think, what if she has a free will now, but she's not letting Eggman in on it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking, you know, what if she does reveal that she has a free will, and then she kind of tells Sonic and Tails and Amy, here, this is what I've downloaded. This is what this is what Eggman plans to do. You know, here's what he plans to do. Here's what he has planned. And, you know, what if she shows them that, oh, by the way, one of the plans he has, you know, one of the things he wants to do is not only repair the global roboticizer, but modify it so that even those immune to robotization could get roboticized. I mean, I'm just wondering if that would be one of the first things she would do if Ian takes like a step-by-step process and says, okay, this is what, you know, this is what's going on with her. This is what I have planned for her to get her free will back and fully be restored. So, but that's just my thoughts on it. You know, that's just what I feel, and the title will say it up there. You know, it basically would say something about speculation of speculation of Sally's restoration. So, but you know, to me, I think it would be a tremendous way of going in that direction. I know some people may say, "Oh, that's," you know, some people may say, "Oh, you know, that's not going to happen," and they got a right to disagree. But I feel in my heart, speculating as a fan, that can happen. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go ahead. Give me your own thoughts. Give me your own opinions. But I feel that's what's going to happen. So that's all I'm going to say, and I'm out.